Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a model launched as a series in 2024 when IWC declared we would now have the Portugieser Automatic 40. It's just a little bit bigger than that. You're looking at reference 3583-13. So properly speaking in steel, 40.4 millimeters in diameter, 12.8 millimeters thick, and a fairly broad 49 from lug to lug. I say broad because it is a 40.4 millimeter watch. There's a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs, but I could advise you that the buckle size is 18, and I'm going to try to speak about that a little bit more in the future when the buckle size does not match the size of the lugs, because that's important when you're ordering straps for these watches. So the watch wears nicely. It's on a rubber strap, which gives it a bit of a sporty ambiance and certainly durability you wouldn't get with leather, so it can get a little bit wet. That's not a problem. You can see it'll easily slip under a cuff, fairly thin with a concave bezel. It's broad across the wrist, as I mentioned, which is why I would recommend this for a 15 centimeter circumference wrist and up. And on my 16 centimeter wrist, it actually wears quite nicely. Being a no-date Portuguese, it's going to appeal to traditionalists, and being an automatic Portuguese, it will appeal to those with contemporary tastes. Taking a look at the strap, like I said, rubber. It is an integrated strap, which means it matches the slope of the lugs and the curve of the case, and it has a little bit of stiffness to it. So because it does hug the case, which gives it a great integrated look, there's not as much flexibility as if it could pivot between the lugs. Taking a look, you can see that there's a textile or maybe even mesh-like pattern that is molded into it on the bottom. You can see some marks and a few raised and relieved patterns that can help it to better grip the wrist. Taking a look at the buckle, you can see this feels a little bit like a generic part, and as you could see, it is. It's made by Cornu. Unrock, spelled backwards, is Cornu, which made this part. But it's secure. You want a folding clasp to help defend against dropping your watch while donning or removing it, and this will give you that. It's a snap-shut system, so you just snap it shut like that. We have the IWC logo, we have Media Blast, we have polish, we even have satination, so it's a triple finished buckle, and you can see it as the motto, Probus Schaffhausen, which you will also see on the crown. And indeed, this watch is made in Schaffhausen, northeastern Switzerland, the German-speaking part, where IWC is probably now and forever the most famous German-Swiss watch brand, dating back to 1868, when it was founded, even more ironically, by an American. So IWC Schaffhausen has a little bit more of a restrained ambiance to its traditional design, and while that changed a little bit in the 21st century, this is one for the classicists. Harking back to the original reference 325 of 1939, the first Portuguese, so named because the model was specifically requested by the Portuguese importers of IWC, who wanted a wristwatch as accurate as a pocket watch. The only way to do that was to custom build a wristwatch case around a pocket watch movement, which produced the watch requested, but also the first oversized, purpose-built wristwatch. It wasn't a converted pocket watch, it was purpose-built, and it beat the oversized watch trend by so many decades that it was considered a niche piece for most of its history, with only a few hundred being made through the early 90s when it became a permanent offering once more. And this watch is actually a lot closer in size to that original than you think. We get the idea today that an oversized watch is 44, 45, 46 millimeters, but the original reference 325 wasn't that much different from the size of this. Huge by late 30s standards, but actually more of a standard size by contemporary standards, and by that I mean 2026. You can see it's got the blended lugs we expect of a Portuguese. It's got small seconds, leaf hands, a railroad track for reading the minutes. We've got sunken sub with ajraj for the seconds. We have Arabic numerals vertically arrayed. It's very true to history in that regard. We have a lovely salmon, or some might say fall tone, sunburst metallic dial. We do have a hacking function, and traits that I find on all IWC manufacturer movements, which is that there's very little dead angle. When you're moving this crown, the minute hand jumps almost immediately, and the crown doesn't wobble on its stem tube assembly when it's withdrawn. It inspires confidence. Rolling it all over, we have caliber 82200, which is an IWC-made caliber that's very traditional in some regards. Let me see if I can pop this off real quick. And if I can't, at least I can open up the strap to give you a better view. So the movement is bidirectional automatic winding with a full ceramic Peloton-based pawl winding system here. Albert Peloton created the original IWC pawl-based bidirectional winding system in the early 50s, and it influenced every pawl-based winding automatic for all time, and that includes the more famous magic lever. This ceramic version is designed to be dirt-free, so it keeps the movement clean. Like I said, 60-hour power reserve, 4 Hz beat rate, stop seconds. You can see it features a 5-position adjustment. That's the high horology standard, and that's also the standard for chronometers. And then 31 joules. Taking a look at the balance, we have a free-sprung balance with most of the timing adjustments done using the variable inertia screws on the balance rim. They're moved in and out in pairs. What you can also see is that there are these 2 flanking structures. Here's your stud holder, and then there are these 2 flanking structures. And I've long wondered what those were, and I got a little bit closer and I looped them, and they appear to encompass the hairspring so that along with the balance cock itself, they perform a role somewhat akin to spring lock on a ball watch, creating an enclosure to limit the absolute range of motion of the hairspring to improve timekeeping under conditions of shock or vibration that might otherwise greatly displace the hairspring and affect timing. So that's an interesting element that I noticed, and upon closer examination, there's a bit more to this movement than at first meets the eye. You can see that it has a skeletonized bridge over the barrel, and you can see a solarized barrel. We have stripes circular on the bridges, engine turning on the plates below, as well as the edges of the bridges, polished screws, a rose gold Motto medallion. Remember, we talked about that Motto Probus Scafusia, a good solid watch made in Schaffhausen. And this is a 30-meter water-resistant watch, 3 bar, so don't take it swimming. But for all other occasions, especially since it's on a rubber strap, it's a very versatile watch. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.